From Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky, the ACC and SEC get set to tangle. Georgia Tech and the Wildcats. Don't blink. You might miss something. Out of the bag, and Georgia Tech gets ready for the 5th-ranked team in the country after we check in with Carl Ravitch. Carl.
Hi, Brad. Thanks very much. Look forward to that game. That game featuring 2 teams, both in the top 25. In all, 20 of the top 25 teams in action this Saturday. Number 1, Kansas. They tip off later this evening. Speaking of top 25, Arizona began this season out of it. Now they've climbed to number 4 in the nation, 6-0. A win today after their best start in a long time, taking on Towson State, a team not afraid to mix it up with the big boys. First half, speaking of big boys, Joseph Blair there for the slam. And then some more Cats. Miles Simon, the alley-oop to Michael Dickerson, second half. Cats playing a little defense. And watch Joe McClain, a little behind-the-back action to Simon for the flush, and Arizona wins. Close game here, though. Towson State, as I said, they're 2-3, but they will play the big boys. 90-84, best start since 93-94 for Arizona. They are now 7-0. Other games going on right now. Missouri over Jackson State. The score there, 15-9. Norm Stewart needing 1 win to pass John Wooden for career victories. UCLA plays today. We'll see them at half. But up next, Georgia Tech, Stephon Marbury in Kentucky. Enjoy the game.
About 25,000 on hand at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky to warm up a cold night. It's 8 degrees outside. It's about 108 inside. Hi, everybody. Brad Nessler with Larry Conley. We welcome you to Lexington, where tonight, 5th-ranked Kentucky against number 16 Georgia Tech. And Larry, earlier in the week against Wisconsin, Green Bay, Kentucky won a game, but Rick Pitino said afterwards one of his co-captains, Tony Delk, and another one, Walter McCarty, didn't even know how to spell defense. One of them knows how to spell bench to start the game tonight, though.
Yeah, and that one is going to be Walter McCarty. Tony Delk will start tonight, but actually Rick Pitino yesterday threatened both of these players and said, I'm going to sit both of you down because that's not the leadership I expect from my 2 captains. I want them to go out there and play defense hard. So McCarty sits, Delk plays.
Georgia Tech, a young team, they need leadership. They need it against a pressing team like Kentucky, and they need it from Drew Berry. He's the only guy that's been here before.
Yeah, well, we've talked about Stephon Marbury so much this year. I think the key to this club really is Drew Berry. He is the one guy that when you talk about being able to handle a press, yes, Marbury is good, but Drew Berry has led the ACC in assists for the last 2 years, and this young man went down at the Georgetown game in the NIT with an ankle injury in the first half, and it really hurt their chances against Georgetown. Tonight, he's healthy, ready to play, and he's going to face the same kind of pressure.
This ought to be a good one. The ACC and SEC get together for Bobby Cremins, Marbury, and Drew Berry in the backcourt. Maddox and Elisma up front, and Matt Harpring already 3 double-doubles on the year. He's one of the unsung heroes in all of college basketball. And for Rick Pitino's Wildcats of Kentucky, Delk does get the start. It was iffy up until a few minutes ago. Anthony Epps joins him, Mercer and Pope up front, and Antoine Walker, who's playing about as well now as he ever has. He had 24, a career high, against Indiana a couple of games ago. Gary Markham, Donnie Gray, and Curtis Shaw are officials. There is Walter McCarty, one of the tri-captains who will not start tonight, and he admitted to everybody, he said, you know, the films don't lie. And when Coach showed us that game, we didn't play defense, and all I can do is not complain about it, but go out and do something about it.
Right, how about the over and under when McCarty gets in?
Well, he leads the team in rebounds and averaging over 10 points a game. Tony Delk, he makes his 72nd straight start thanks to a reprieve late from Coach Pitino.
Yeah, this is a guy you got to have in your lineup. He's a shooter, a scorer, really the leader of this club. I mean, they talk about leadership on this team. I think really Tony Delk is the guy. There's Stephon Marbury, one of the special players, I think, in the country. One of the best point guards. In fact, Rick Pitino told me yesterday, one of the 2 best he thinks he's ever seen.
Well, he is wise beyond his years, that's for sure.
Do you know who the other one was that he liked? The point guard of all time. Now, he's talking about 2 of them, Marbury.
Isaiah Thomas?
No, but you're close. Go ahead, we'll get the game. I'll tell you in a minute.
All right. Here we go, and it's Kentucky with Pope on top. They work it around the perimeter.
Well, Tech worked a lot on this in practice yesterday, fighting through screens, trying to get to Kentucky quickly.
Walker outside. Got it.
Brad, one of the things I like about this Kentucky team, having seen them practice 3 times this year, they really move the ball well, and they really are working on their half-court defense. Watch this half-court defense they'll throw up against Tech.
And Delk's playing defense right now in the opening minute, that's for sure. The message has gotten across.
Here's the excellent sophomore, Matt Harpring.
Maddox for 3. The rebound off to Delk. And now Epps will run the show. The beginning of the season, they tried Delk at the point. Mercer for a triple. Way too strong off the backside. Marbury. What a bounce pass. A little too much for Harper, and they threw it away. Boy, that baby had some zip on it, though. A little too much.
Harpring's just now coming down floor.
Good look inside to Pope from Epps.
You know what, Brad? It cost him. Harpring not getting back on defense, enabled Pope to get the ball in the middle, and it was an easy layup. Harpring dogging it a little bit, getting back down the floor.
Stephon Marbury will bring it up and tells his teammates to calm down as they look for their opening basket. That probably isn't the guy they want to shoot. Nice no-look inside to Harpring, and a great pass by Drew Berry, and that's what Larry talked about in the open.
Well, he's just one of the best passers in the country. Great compliment to Marbury.
4-2 Kentucky, and we're not quite 2 minutes in.
Keep an eye on the screens, particularly for Walker as Pope and Delk try to work the outside. Good movement inside.
Walker, little turn, won't go. Maddox keeps his position. Now the lead ahead to Harpring from Marbury again, and he draws a foul as Anthony Epps picks up his first foul of the ball game.
The foul is on Epps. That's his first and the team's first.
So far, Georgia Tech off to a 5-1 start. Kentucky at 3-1. Georgia Tech in their 5 wins holding the opposition 39% from the floor. That'll help a lot, especially when you hit your free throws, which they really have been doing well. Kentucky plays a lot of different people, a lot of different starting lineups. And
in fact, this is
still searching a little bit, I think.
Well, this is their 5th different starting lineup so far this year.
As we said, they started the season trying Delk at the point. He's just not a point guard. He's a shooter, and they want him at the 2 spot, so it's he and Epps in the backcourt tonight. Here's the guy leading Georgia Tech in scoring, Harpring. Second free throw came off. Nice no-look pass, Delk to Mercer.
Now, that's 2 times in a row that Georgia Tech has not gotten back on defense, and Kentucky has taken full advantage of it. You cannot relax on this Kentucky club. They push the ball quickly, they find open people, and they get baskets.
6-3 Wildcats. Nice feed into the low post to Harpring from the baseline. Boy, he's turning into something special in just his sophomore year. Again, Tech doesn't get back. Mercer, though, stepped on the baseline, the first Kentucky turnover. Bobby Cremins in his 15th year as the head man at Georgia Tech.
Take a look as Harpring coming back down the floor on defense. Now look, see the passes ahead of him and an easy layup. You've got to get back on defense against the Wildcats, and they're going to lay up on you.
Berry, scoop shot. Fans thought he traveled, no call. And a whistle and a foul inside on Harpring. Harpring's got a little more beef to throw around this year. He's put on about 15 pounds of muscle. And he's got family here at this game tonight. Mom and Dad are here.
There's Dad Jack on the left, Maureen, his mother, on the right. Jack was on Bo Schembechler's first Michigan football team.
Right.
He has slimmed down a little bit since then.
Yes, he has. Nice feed down to Walker from Mark Pope.
Well, Brad, they're getting a lot of easy baskets inside against this Tech defense.
That's been Tech's trouble, is defense and scoring, for that matter, from Eddie Lisman Company. Nice play by Maddox, though, with a steal in the bucket.
A little slippery hands by Tony Delk enabled Lisman to get an easy one.
8-7 Kentucky.
Interesting matchup. Harpring on Epps. Looks like maybe Tech is in the zone. Yeah, they are.
Tony Delk got Berry in the air, and the jumper's too strong. Pope will pull it down. Now Walker. He gets his man free. Nice look to Pope from Walker. Those two are passing it well back and forth.
Right, that's what I talked about early in this half, about how well they pass the basketball. This is a team that's just going to get better and better.
Yeah, look out for these guys in March.
Oh.
They're just too talented not to be there. Inside drive, steal by Mercer, and the dish to Epps. And Georgia Tech gets it right back. Marbury with a steal. Berry wanted to get it to Maddox, but nice defense by Pope to get back.
Marbury with a good heads-up defensive play. He read the eyes of Epps that time.
Marbury on top. Just over 4 minutes in.
I was going to say, keep an eye on Marbury the next time he gets the ball on offense. He loves to break defenders down on the dribble.
And Harpering got a little shoulder in there, and Delk's going to get called for the foul. Timeout with 15 minutes and 40 seconds remaining first half. The big guys for Kentucky, Pope and Antoine Walker, and they played a little catch back and forth underneath for buckets and a 3-point lead. Wildcats not mopping up the floor with Georgia Tech yet by any means, but they lead by 3.
It's Rick Pitino's littlest one, 5 years old.
He's got about 5 of them too, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, they wander around. Watched him in practice yesterday. He's already handling it, shooting it. Rick wouldn't give it to him though.
Yeah, that's right. You got to learn to play defense. Stephon Marbury, or Georgia Tech, scoreless so far, but he's had a couple of nice passes. Field goal shooting early in the ball game.
Brad, keep an eye now on Stephon Marbury. He loves to break guys down on the dribble. Kentucky's gone to his own defense now.
Stephon Marbury. Talk about him not shooting, and he fills it up from 3-point land for the first tie of the game.
He has the complete game. He can shoot the jumper from 15 to 20 feet. Great breaking the ball down on the defender. He can rebound, he can defend, he can pass, anything else you'd like.
Mercer, he works for an open jumper. Pope, the stick back, comes out on it. Mercer got it back again. Good offensive rebounding job by Kentucky. Dealt short for 3, Harpering the rebound. Sometime tonight we'll watch Stephon Marbury with his jump shot. It is completely vertical before he lets it go, and it's about 3 feet off the ground before he ever lets go of the basketball. It's picture perfect. Barry inside. Tech with a chance to lead for the first time, and Barry's shot goes astray.
Brad, whenever you watch Stephon Marbury shoot a jump shot, you're seeing one of the prettiest picture jump shots in the country. He goes up strong. Now watch this catch. See, one step and straight up. Look at the elevation, the follow through, boom, bottom of the net.
That's exactly what we were talking
the
about.
way you do it.
Yep.
I tell you what, a lot of people are asking, are you going to stay around for another year? I want to talk about him possibly leaving. I hope not. I'd like to see him stay around for 3 more.
That one had too much on it. Walker had Pope open and threw it wide. Turnover, Kentucky. Field goal shooting early. Kentucky, they've always had their strong suit be to hold their opposition to a low field goal percentage. But right now, through 4 games, the opposition shooting 47%. That's kind of strange for a Kentucky team, Larry.
Tech's defense has been pretty good. They've been holding their opponents to 42.
Barry, the no-look pass to Harpering. Wide open for 3, but it doesn't go. And tied at 10. We come back the other way. And a steal by Marbury. Goes all the way himself and drew a foul. Well, Marbury's been busy stealing passes tonight in the first 6 minutes.
And I also wanted to say one thing I left out about his complete game is the decisions he makes in the open court. Look at the steal. Pushes it to the other end, head up, looking. Peripheral vision, sees it, got the break, went straight to the hoop.
He felt Anderson coming up behind, too, and decided that the best move was to try to go to the free throw line, which is where he is. And he is shooting 71% coming in from the free throw line.
Try to understand when he was in the NIT up in New York, when Georgia Tech was in the semifinals up there, there was an entourage from New York that was all over that place following him.
Yep. And he handled it pretty well. You would think it'd be too much for a freshman. But he's just given Tech a lead for the first time.
Tech with a little pressure of their own there.
Anderson, his 3, no good. And a foul inside. And I think Barry's going to be caught with this one.
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier about Georgia Tech, the fact that they do not rebound the ball very well. And this is a Kentucky team that likes to crash the offensive glass. Tech needs to work on that inside blocking out, because if they don't, Kentucky really will go up and get a lot of second and third shots.
Well, for years, really, since John Sally and Yvonne Joseph, I guess, there'd always been talk about Tech's donut offense with a hole in the middle, and they're still trying to find it with Eddie Elisman. Shepard can't get it from 15. Barry with a rebound. Tech looking to run.
Good decision by Barry.
Harpering wide open again. This time it goes.
Got 3 guys that can handle the ball. Harpering, Barry, Stephon Marbury. All guys deliver the ball, and they can shoot it, all three, too.
Georgia Tech spotted Kentucky a 4-0 lead, and now they lead 15-10. Shepard, nice drive, but he doesn't finish it. Whoa, somebody almost brought the whole rim down. Boy, Berry is finding Harpring, isn't he?
And Harpring's finding the basket. Well, that's a great combination, and Tech really putting it on Kentucky right now.
Georgia Tech, 10 straight points to lead 17-10.
Watch again now, Brett. When they push the ball, look at Harpring. We've ISO'd on him. Watch him get set. See, that's a good shooter. Get in position for the shot. Berry delivers it. Harpring delivers it into the basket. Now the other side. He goes to the corner. Harpring's there, and he delivers the shot. When you got a guy who can make the pass, you got a guy who can shoot. Boy, you got a terrific combination.
And you saw Rick Pitino's hands go up to the shoulders for the 22nd timeout in a hurry. As Georgia Tech with a couple of threes. Kentucky is yet to find it from out there, and it's Georgia Tech 17-10, pulling a little bit of a surprise here in the opening 7 minutes of the game.
Harpring is lighting it up. Give Drew Berry credit for getting the ball to him.
Over the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 10 straight Georgia Tech points. And Rick Pitino working the bench and letting Walter McCarty off the bench for the first time. He's in the lineup. There's Anderson, McCarty, Shepard, Pope, and Turner.
Right, all five of those Kentucky guys in there can shoot the jumper. They can shoot the three-point shot. So you've got to be able to go out and defend beyond the arc.
Here's freshman on freshman momentarily. Now Anderson. Still no good from outside the arc. 0 for 4 for the Wildcats.
Well, Harpring's getting it done on the glass, too.
And he's 4 for 5 from the field. Maddox. He's got a good outside shot. That one rattles out on McCarty, who just checked in his first rebound. Shepard runs and lays it in.
Good burst of speed on that right side in front of the Tech bench. Shepard's got that kind of quickness.
Berry in trouble and walked with it. Georgia Tech's third turnover. College basketball coming up on Tuesday. Get a look at UConn as the Huskies take on Pat Kennedy's Florida State Seminoles. That is Tuesday night NCAA basketball at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Boy, did the Seminoles have a tough loss the other night in New Orleans against Tulane. Gerald Honeycutt with that shot in the corner. That's
going to be up for shot of the year without a doubt, no matter how many full court shots go in before the year's over. Very seldom do you see somebody flying out of bounds and lofting one from behind the backboard that goes.
In New Orleans, that one had a little gumbo on it.
Oh, the pitcher did. That's a good point. Don't forget you can get scores at 10:30 and 50 past every hour, every day, 24 hours a day on ESPN. Our score 17-12, Georgia Tech. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley on a cold night in Lexington, Kentucky. And as always, packed house at Rupp Arena. Nice ball movement, but it's not going anywhere for the Wildcats, except into a turnover. They moved it well, but it never got any closer to the hoop.
Terry Saunders in now for Georgia Tech. Good steal by Kentucky. Marbury lost it. Watch Turner push.
Turner in the paint, triple teamed, and he got it to go. That is a push. And a shove.
That's one he brought from Boston.
Mr. Basketball in the state of Massachusetts showing his stuff and cuts the Tech lead to 3. Marbury 4-3.
Bingo. Man, oh man, what a shooter. What a player. I'd love to watch this kid play.
Too. 8 points already for Marbury. He had 26 against Michigan in probably his best game so far this year. Nice follow by McCarty. And I think the two seniors have gotten the message. You got to play defense and you have to hustle, and they've done both, he and Delk tonight. And the backcourt pressure gets to Tech a bit. Now they got a 2-on-1. Maddox to Elisma. Eddie Elisma probably shouldn't have been involved in that. I think Harpring would have been more the open man, Larry.
Agreed. Elisma didn't need that ball. The pass did not need to go to him. Not a good decision to give the ball to the center in that situation.
We've got some veterans in these lineups, but we've got some new guys that are something special for both teams. Be it Wayne Turner for the Cats or Stephon Marbury for Georgia Tech. We've got a good one going, and it's Tech by 4.
We go to Big 8 country. Jackson State, number 11, Missouri, 1-4 against 4-1. Scott Combs misses, but the freshman, Monty Harge, up in, and he gets the foul. Norm Stewart, 1 win shy of passing John Wooden on the all-time list. We'll check this at halftime. For now, back to Brad and Larry.
All right, Carl, 2016, Georgia Tech leading Kentucky after going on a 10-0 run over a 2-minute 15-second run.
Now that's on the inside, but I'm going to tell you, there are a couple of hundred people standing outside that look the same way.
Those are the ones you feel bad for.
And it's cold outside.
Harpering and Marbury have been most of the Georgia Tech offense so far. Turner in close. And a foul on the rebound as McCarty came over the back of Maddox. And he'll pick up his first. Harpering and Marbury, 18 of the 20 points for Georgia Tech.
I'll tell you who's delivering the ball to him. Drew Berry's getting it to them. Great three-guard combination. Reminiscent of a club Bobby Crimmins had a few years ago that made it to the Final Four.
Lethal weapon three of Brian Oliver and Kenny Anderson and Dennis Scott. Foul. Rick Pitino didn't like the call, and he's in Donnie Gray's face. And he's saying all ball, all ball. Didn't get that call.
We got a good look at it right here. Watch Marbury go up. Now you see Delk from the backside right here. I'm not too sure he didn't get most of the ball. When the hand is on the ball, it is considered part of the ball. If you get anything from the wrist on up, yeah, it's a foul. But if you get that wrist while the hand is on the ball, it's okay.
Tony will sit with a couple, and Marbury steps to the line. Rookie of the week in the ACC last week, and you got a feeling you'll be repeating that line several times this year.
I was going to say, just go ahead and just copy it. Roll it off the copier.
$10 points for Marbury.
Here's Bobby Crimmins. What a terrific job he has done at Georgia Tech. 3 ACC championships.
Kentucky almost threw it away.
Got the great pipeline from New York. Continues to get good quality players from New York City. He's got one enter on the floor right now. Good
Walker double team. Well done by Tech, and he walked with it. One too many steps trying to get out of there. 6 turnovers on Kentucky at the midway point.
Watch this trap underneath here, Brad. Watch Harpering come over and trap Matt right here. Now they've got him. They've got him in a trap. He's trying to get away. Walker pushes it and travels with it, and Tech gets it back.
Saunders on a drive all the way. The freshman comes up empty. Almost came up with a steal after McCarty cleared it off. McCarty can shoot it out there. Don't be mistaken. That one's short-armed. And the rebound off to Bucky Hodge.
He's starting to get a little bit of playing time. I talked to the Tech people yesterday, and they say he's improving, working on his game.
15 years for Bobby Crimmins and 15 years of playing about 6 guys. This is a little bit different. Now it's about 8. And whether that's just a change in style or he actually has 8 guys now that he thinks can play, I think it's more that case, don't you?
Yeah, you know what? And it's nice to see him go out and recruit the numbers of players that I think he needs to be successful in that league. You know, for years, those of us who've been around him and have known him, we've always told him, you know, you got to have more than 6 guys. You got to have 7, 8, 9 guys.
And he always agrees, but then he never does anything
about it.
He
never did anything. And now he has. He's got 8 guys, 8 solid guys that can play.
22-16. Lob underneath. Well defended by Tech, and it's Hodge. Nice pass to Saunders on the fly. Turner. Anderson spins inside and drew a foul.
Well, what a terrific move that was, huh? Derek Anderson making a baseline move after he receives the pass. His transfer from Ohio State had to sit out last year, had 2 real good years when he was with the Buckeyes up there. He is a great compliment, I think, to this basketball team. One of several players they've got at that 2 position right now with Shepard, Delk, and Anderson. They've got an overload at that particular shooting guard position.
At Ohio State a couple of years ago, he averaged 15. Right now, he's averaging 10 per game with Kentucky. And he's got his first couple of this one. Delk back in. And Wayne Turner will sit. 9:03 left first half, 22-18. Kentucky cuts Georgia Tech's lead down to 4. And looking to...
There's the run out.
Nobody home. Saunders by himself. Nice pass.
They worked on that in practice yesterday, too. Breaking the press down 3 ways. The dribble, the quick pass, and the run out. That time they had to run out with a good, long, I call it a football pass.
Well, he was a heck of a quarterback. It probably helps the cause. He laid that baby out there. And Barry always with his eyes up, looking down court, looking for an assist. Long jump shot won't go for Gaston. Tech by 6. Anderson weaves inside, had his shot blocked. Whether it was a shot or a pass, it was blocked by Gaston. Another Kentucky turnover.
Look at Barry. See what the 5th-year senior does? That is an intelligent move. He was 1-on-4, decided to pull it out. Now they run their offense. Some other guys would try to press the situation. He did. Good leadership.
3 assists tonight for John Barry already. Getting ready to move into 3rd place on the Georgia Tech career assist list, passing Brian Oliver. And then only Craig Neal and Travis Best would be in front of him. Hope with an easy bucket. Fans thought Barry pushed off on his dribbling down court. No call.
Watch the screen. They want Harpering inside. He's been sort of silent the last 6 minutes.
There he got away. Open jumper. Rattled out. Rebound. Gaston, did he undercut McCarty?
I think it was a little push on the backside. There's Bobby Crimmins taking a look. I'll tell you the one thing about Juan Gaston, he's one of the freshmen that came to this Tech club. He is strong, he's physical, was a great high school football player in the Atlanta area.
Boy, was he ever. 7:31 to go first half. Georgia Tech hanging on to a 4-point lead.
Well, the Yellow Jackets are stinging the Wildcats so far. I want to show you how they handled Kentucky's press. Now watch the screen right here. All right, roll it. Now watch. As he moves forward, Gaston will screen McCarty. Now, watch the screen. Now watch the run out all the way to the other end as his screen is set. Roll. Now look at this. Great pass. Cross the baseline. Nobody
Touchdown.
back to defend. And it's gone. And it's 6. No, 2.
2. The lead is 4. 24-20. 7:27 left first half. And a walk. Turner skipped a little bit trying to get the entry pass inside. Georgia Tech from 3-point range, 3 for 7. Kentucky still looking. And Kentucky, they always seem to get good work from their bench, but that's a little deceiving in that McCarty didn't start tonight either, so he comes off the bench, and he'll be credited in that area. Barry inside. McCarty, just talked about him, up high for the rebound.
He's done a good job on the backboard, Brad, since he's come off that bench.
Turner, he just pushes his way inside.
You know, there's a little bit of a grudge match going on here between Turner and Marbury. They played a lot against each other in these all-star games in high school.
Lead cut to 2. Barry never looks to the hoop very often. Usually looking to those wings trying to get a pass to a teammate. Goes back to the wing. 3-pointer. Nobody home but Kentucky and Anderson. Chance to tie. Not a good pass. Marbury's got another steal.
Bad decision. One thing, he should have stopped at the free throw line and kind of looked over the situation. He didn't. And then he compounded the problem by taking it deep, getting into the air, and had nobody to pass to. Look. He wanted to pass. He should have stopped and taken the shot.
Yep.
Not a good decision.
Anderson will sit after that not-so-good decision.
And I think that's what Rick Pitino is instructing him about right now. He says, hey, look, you're going to run the break. Find somebody to pass the ball to. Kentucky back in that zone defense again.
Under 6.5 first half. Saunders has had a couple outside jumpers that have not dropped. And again, Kentucky can tie or lead. McCarty, nice move for a big fella on the dribble. Pope for the lead. Yes.
Well, that's what they worked on yesterday. They said, look, you can't let Pope go out and shoot that shot. And he can shoot it.
Barry on the run. Got to get back on defense. Lisma got hammered by Pope. And that'll be his second foul in the last 30 seconds. Coming up on Wednesday, NCAA basketball doubleheader on ESPN. First, Clem Haskins Golden Gophers go to a tough place. They'll take on Cincinnati. Larry, you're going to be in that one. Cincinnati is a good team, maybe better than good. Villanova and Temple on the nightcap, 9:30. Those are both on Wednesday on ESPN.
Bearcats with a big win over Arkansas today with the president in attendance.
There you go. Hope with 2 quick fouls, and he'll have to sit. Eddie Elisma will step to the free throw line. First point of the night for the 6'9" junior out of LaSalle High School in New York. Part of that New York Bobby Cremins connection. There's what he's done on the year.
Brad, I would tell you there's something else that Georgia Tech's been doing, even though they missed their free throw. They've been shooting their free throws very well this year.
That they had. They had one streak where they were 21 of 23 in a game against Campbell. They had a foul.
Elisma got it as Mercer made his move to the basket. You know, coming out of high school, I think maybe the one guy that everybody was talking the most about, at least coming in, was Ron Mercer. He and Carter, the young man that went to North Carolina, were pretty much the 2 guys that, and really Marbury too, the 3 guys that everybody said these are can't misses in college, and no question they'll make it in the pros. Mercer a little bit more patient with where he's going with his game than perhaps Marbury and Carter are.
Well, it's nice when you got a lot of help and you don't have to carry the load. Kentucky by 2. Matt Harpering will check back in, so will Juan Gaston. Saunders gets a rest. Harpering again, looking for the long ball. This time he's going to have to dump it over the middle to his running back. Berry, double team. They're going to have to hustle. Shepard cuts off Berry on the baseline. Harpering has been quiet, as Larry said, since exploding early. 9 points for him on the night. 15 on the shot clock. We're under 5.5 first half. Maddox open. Triple. Yes, got it.
Well, he did that a lot in high school. He picked it up last year as a freshman and is doing it again this year for Georgia Tech.
And Tech seesaws back in front by 1.
They'd love for Maddox to be more of an inside player, but hey, you can shoot the 3, go out there and shoot it.
Especially when the 3 is working for Georgia Tech tonight, as it has so far. It hasn't for Kentucky.
Good lob pass that time by McCarty. Maddox was trying to guard him. He's not tall enough to take care of that big guy.
And Kentucky back by 1.
Watch again. Good lob pass. Good catch by McCarty. He knows he's there and he's strong.
Turnover. Turner was out of bounds. So good hustle, but they don't get the steal. Georgia Tech will keep it with 4:55 left in the first half. Well, we've used a lot of football analogies tonight, so why don't we take a quick minute? At least I will, because I've been watching him play since he was 18 years old and done a lot of his games. We add our congratulations to Eddie George of Ohio State on a sensational season and his Heisman Trophy. Couldn't happen to a better kid. He is a classy individual, and we congratulate him.
Brad, a lot of good candidates for that particular trophy this year.
Yep.
And, he's well deserving. Talk about young players, 18 years old, who are going to get better. Watch this guy. Marbury, very quick crossover dribble. He got Shepard leaning. Great pass down inside. That's what I was talking about, his total game. If he doesn't have the shot, he knows where to dump it.
Michael Maddox, and he and Marbury played quite a bit together in the summer, part of the U.S. Junior National Team together. Michael's off to a good start tonight, 6 points. Out of Mays High School in Atlanta. Got them both. Good balance between Marbury, Harpering, and Maddox right now. They're doing most of the offensive load for Georgia Tech as they lead by 1.
Georgia Tech's back into that zone defense. Watch Kentucky work the ball on the perimeter.
Shepard's open. He'll try the 3 and get it.
See, that's the danger you have of playing Kentucky in a zone defense. You've got to be able to charge out and challenge those shooters.
32-30 Kentucky. Fans have been on Drew Berry all night long. Every time he brings it up court, they've been booing him. He remembers he was the only member of this Georgia Tech team that's ever played here before. He played here as a redshirt freshman in '92. And he said, I remember the place, 25,000 people screaming at me. And he had just a couple of points and a couple of assists that night. But now he's one of the main focal points of this Georgia Tech team.
I got to tell you, he's not intimidated. having all those older brothers and a dad that played as well as he did.
Well, his brother John almost had a triple-double against Kentucky in '91. Just a sensational game. Remember, John had 24 points and 11 assists and 7 rebounds against Kentucky in a one-point thrilling win. Marbury can't connect, and Shepard the rebound. Kentucky with a lead. Shepard comes up short on this three, and Prickett in the right spot at the right time for the rebound. Anderson all the way on the drive. He just doesn't finish it. And two Tech players collide, leaving Antoine Walker wide open. But Berry there for the rebound, the only guy with a gold jersey. Marbury on the fly, trying to dish the middle. Turnover, not a good look. And back comes Shepard.
There was no doubt where he was going with that one.
Bobby Kremen says, let's try to stop this thing right now. 22nd timeout. Jeff Shepard, he is the one guy that's got one speed on the Kentucky team, and it's overdrive. And then he takes it into the air and can jump as well as anybody in the country, and he's just ignited this crowd.
Well, he grew up in the shadows of the Atlanta airport, so I guess that's why he can get up in the air. Watch him fly down the lane. He knew where he was going. You know, Berry has a couple of fouls, and that time he goes strong to the hoop. He can get up. Peachtree City, Georgia youngster.
Air traffic control. We need release for liftoff. Wow. 34-30 now. Kentucky in front. That matches their largest advantage. Georgia Tech at one point led by 7. And the Cats are erupting right now.
Good timeout that time by Bobby Kremen. I think he wants to slow down this juggernaut that Kentucky's got going right now.
Kind of a mini run, and it's been all Jeff Shepard with a deuce and a three-pointer. So he has the last 5 Kentucky points. And you get our vantage point that we get every game. It's not a bad seat.
It's a wonderful seat.
3:19 and a half. Marbury, man, he thought about it from about 30 feet. He'll take the 15-footer and adjust in midair to drain it.
What a shot, huh?
Not too bad.
He does a little bit of everything.
Steal by Gaston underneath.
Not a good pass by Mercer. They tried the lob pass again. Gaston was ready that time. Good job by Berry. That time Marbury returned the favor. Said, Drew, you've been feeding me all night. I'm going to give you one back. Good pump fake to get open.
Berry ties it up at 34. Just about what we expected, maybe then some, huh?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Early in the year, a lot of people were thinking about this Georgia Tech team, and they were picked 5th. Wrong. This is a good club. They're going to challenge for the ACC title.
Anderson, good turn in the lane. It's his first field goal. And we got a push off on Jeff Shepard on the press. He didn't like the call much. Rick Pitino in his 7th year. The head man at Kentucky, and so much pressure, I guess, in all of college basketball if you're a coach. But how about coming into the season when, as Rick Pitino would say, a Final Four would probably be accepted, but a national championship is expected?
It's amazing to sit here and listen to these talk shows they have around the state of Kentucky. I mean, they're all calling and said, what's wrong with this club? They're number 5 in the country, right? What's wrong with this team?
Exactly. Well, I did their loss to UMass. It was just a sensational performance by Marcus Camby. That was part of the problem. And Kentucky, admittedly, did not play very well, and so they were knocked from that lofty perch of number 1, now down to number 5, as Larry said. Marbury got them both. 14 already for the freshman, and he's helped tie this thing up at 36.
The Jackets and the Cats all knotted up. We've been talking about Stephon Marbury and the way he plays. You may be watching the freshman of the year in college basketball. His outside shot, you've seen it. But watch this. Quick move to the left side. Ball in the left hand. Pop, hold, jackknife in the air, get it around the defender, and get it in the net. He does everything well. This guy is just a complete basketball player.
14 points already for Stephon Marbury in this first half. And there's been some great point guards. Mark Price, Kenny Anderson, Travis Best, and now Stephon Marbury in their freshman years. Mark Price and John Sally had to carry that team. Kenny Anderson didn't necessarily. And then Best and Marbury in the last couple of eras, I guess, at that point guard spot. That's a good list of point guards, isn't it?
Oh.
I'd take those 4 guys and play a game of horse any day of the week.
Point guard, you.
And 2 of them active in the NBA. The other injured, Mark Price. And another steal inside.
Yeah,
Jordan Bennett done a nice job collapsing.
They've done very well. They got burned one time, and that was the only time they got burned. Now, 2 times in a row, they've been able to go in there and get that pass, that lob pass.
Tech looking for the lead again. 6 lead changes, 4 ties in this game. Marbury for the lead. Got it. Boy, he's on fire. That's another 3. He's got 17 points.
Rick Pitino said in practice yesterday, he says, hey, you can't play like that. This guy will make those shots. You got to go get him.
And you can tell just by the look in his eye, he's right in front of us playing defense, that he feels it tonight. Nice drive inside by Turner. Mercer underneath. And another freshman answers on the other end.
Good offensive board work by Kentucky that time. Maddox wants to give it up. Let the young freshman handle the ball. He can handle Walker out there. That's a mismatch out on the floor. Walker at 6'8". Yep. Bad position to be in right now.
And Marbury thinking that way, trying to dish inside to Harpering. He's got that hook around pass, but it didn't work. Knocked away. Carl Ravitch is coming up at halftime. The Delta Faucet halftime report. Carl will be looking at the top 25 recap. Eddie George wins the Heisman. And some NFL highlights from a Vikings victory today. And San Diego got a little bit of a late scare from Buddy's boys. Those 2 games on Saturday. Harpering drives inside. Shepard blocked it, but it's goaltended.
First basket for Matt Harpering in some time, and it was a good drive. He went in with the left hand and kissed it off the glass. Shepard slapped it away. Watch again, Harpering right here. He makes the move, goes baseline. Can't keep Prickett, cannot keep up. You can see Shepard there knocking the ball off the glass after it comes off.
And again, trying to feed inside, and Kentucky's getting a little too happy trying to get that back door down to the baseline, and Gaston knocked it away. Almost came up with a steal again.
One of the things Rick Pitino's been emphasizing this year, Brad, is the fact that he wants to get the ball more inside and be a more balanced offense, not depend so much on the 3.
20 on the shot clock, 32 on the game clock in the half. And a foul. This one's going to be on Saunders.
Foul is on Saunders. That's his 2nd and the team's 8th.
It's Gary Saunders, not John Saunders, for all you ESPN viewers. Every time I say Saunders, I think John's coming up at halftime. 2nd foul on Gary Saunders, and Jeff Shepard will step up. Try to tip it as Walker won't go, and Maddox clears it out to Harpering on the run. So Georgia Tech will have a chance for the final shot. They lead by 3, and they can try to make it 5 or more before intermission. Marbury's just going to bring it out himself. And now they start their move as we're down to 10 in the half.
I think they want Marbury one-on-one, but Turner doing a good job of keeping him out of there.
Maddox 3 won't go. Just all white shirts around. Let's see if Turner can get a shot away. Collision near midcourt. Shepard at the buzzer. Nope. Wave it off. And at halftime, Georgia Tech. And wait a minute. Injured Tech player. There's a collision down there at midcourt.
I think that's Marbury. Yeah,
it's hard for me to tell. It's right in front of us, but he tried to play for the steal on Turner. It is Marbury, and he looks like he is okay.
Once again, you can well, you can take a look right here now. So Turner's trying to come up with the ball. He really undercuts right here. It's a good block. He just simply goes down. I thought maybe it hurt his knee when it first happened. And I think he was a little concerned about that too, but he just wanted the Delta Faucet halftime report to be about 20 seconds later. Marbury, quite a first half. 17 to lead all scorers. Georgia Tech trying to pull a surprise at Rupp Arena. 41-38 as we send it to the aforementioned Carl Ravitch. Carl, it's yours.
All right, Brad, thanks very much. And Stefan succeeded, so we'll get it to break very quickly. Let you know we got plenty coming up in the Delta Faucet halftime report. Several teams, including actually 20 from the top 25 in action. The Heisman Award given out today to Eddie George of Ohio State. We'll have his full story. Also, 2 NFL games to tell you about. So you stay with us in the Delta Faucet halftime report.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by the new Dodge. We're thinking ahead.
Delta Faucet halftime report. First half action, Missouri, Jackson State from Missouri. Inside the ball goes miss. There to put it in, Julian Winfield. Missouri up earlier than Desmond Ferguson. They do it inside, they do it outside. He'll pull up from 3, and the Tigers and Norm Stewart open up a big-time lead. It was 49-30 at that point. That was at the break. Stewart gets one more win. He passes Wooden on the all-time win list. The score right now is 53-30, so they're pulling away. Number 8, Mississippi State down by 6 to Arkansas Little Rock. Battle of Iowa. Iowa up over Iowa State. That one is early. As I said, 20 of the top 25 teams are in action today. Number 1, Kansas plays later. Number 3, UMass against Boston College at the Fleet Center. Probably, when you talk about UMass, you're talking about the best team in the state. That includes the Celtics. That's the freshman for BC, Scooney Penn. They're up early by 7. Then Danye Abrams, yes, and a foul. We're tied at 55. Tied at 57 now, and Canby kicks it out to Edgar Padilla. UMass up by 3. Maybe the biggest shot of the game. BC trying to come back, but watch Canby. Abrams takes it in, and Canby says, get that shot out of here. The final score there, UMass 65-57. Elsewhere, Duke, Michigan, 2 other top 25 teams facing each other. Baston down low, Michigan by 5. 84-81 Wolverines, less than a minute to go. Chris Collins, yes, we're tied. Still tied now, the freshman. Watch Lewis Bullock for Michigan. He hits the first of 2 free throws. He'd also hit the second, so Michigan is up 2. Traylor on the bench, arms around each other. Collins another 3. It will not go, and Michigan wins it 88-84, the final score there. Wake Forest and Florida first half. Tim Duncan, Canby took care of him. Now Duncan trying to do it against Florida. Duncan on the defensive end, a big-time rejection on Kendrick Spruill. And then Duncan feeds Ricky Perrell for the slam Dunkerino. Damon Dinkins by 24. Duncan 14-14. 7 blocks, 9 assists. Purdue, Villanova, Wooden Classic, Anaheim. Kerry Kittles did it all. The steal. And Nova up 35-21 at the break. Second half, this time Alvin Williams. Little pressure. Eric Ebers. Back to Williams, and who's the trailer? Special K. Gene Keady, speaking of Special K, not happy with the outcome. 67-50, the final score there. Elsewhere, Arizona, they improved to 7-0 with a win. Virginia beats Richmond in that game. Harold Dean, 27 points and 4 steals. Cincinnati over Arkansas, 82-67. Sean Smith in a win for Virginia Tech. He scores 25 points. Jelani McCoy, the freshman center for UCLA, 15 points, 10 boards, and a record. Pac-10 record, I should say, 11 blocks. That's also a school record. Illinois over Ball State, 22-6. This game just underway. Louisville over Texas, 101-78. Samaki Walker had a big day there. Other scores, Vanderbilt over Rice by 13 at the break. And Lamar and Mississippi, 45-26. Lamar now 59-46, updating that score. Other scores to tell you about, South Carolina and Clemson, 43-34. That one has gone to the break. And Davidson over NC State, actually a loser. Final score there as Todd Fuller puts in 19 for NC State, 84-80. The battle for the Heisman supposed to be one of the closest in years. In fact, it was not. Eddie George pulled away from defenses all season. He pulled away from his Heisman followers as well. 24 touchdowns. An Ohio State record, 1,826 yards. He's the 5th Buckeye to win the Heisman. He beats Frazier by 264 points, and he beats Danny Werfel by 473. Eddie George over 100 yards in every game except his first, and that he got 99 against BC. Eddie George winning the Heisman. Speaking of Heismans, remember Vinny Testaverde? He won it in 1986. Now plays for the Cleveland Browns, and his season, like Cleveland's, up, down. Today he got hurt, didn't last through the second quarter. Warren Moon did. The 1-yard toss to Charles Evans. Evans first, National Football League TD, 10-0 Vikes. Second quarter, 10-3. Watch Chris Carter. Up, down, bang, and he keeps on going. Carter, 8 catches, 124 yards. This down to the 5. It led to a field goal. Second quarter, the Brownies are down 10. Zayre's in because Testaverde pulled a groin, bruised his hip. Andre Rison picked off. Zayre intercepted 4 times. Warren Moon, he threw for 267. He, too, got banged up. He thought he had a cracked rib. He'll have an MRI later on. And for more details on the injury, be sure to catch SportsCenter, which comes your way at 11 p.m. Eastern. Elsewhere, Cards and Chargers. Bobby Ross hosting Buddy's boys. Tied at 7, quarter number 2. Dan Humphries' pass deflected and picked off by Clyde Simmons. And get out of my way. 14-7 at that point, Arizona. Third quarter at 21-14 Chargers. Humphries. This one isn't picked off. Instead, Marseille accelerates. Great downfield block there. And he's in 38 yards later. Chargers win it 28-25, yes, sir. Andre Coleman, also a 92-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in this one. Chargers now 7-7, very much alive in the playoff race. Speaking of playoff races, Packers, they are certainly there, are the Buccaneers. Sunday night, NFL here on ESPN. That is preceded by NFL Primetime. We're back with more after this.
This halftime report is presented by Delta Faucet and your dependable Delta Plumbing professional. Together, they're the way water is brought to life.
Back on the Delta Faucet halftime report, Georgia Tech on the road up 3 over Kentucky. Georgia Tech's home away from home is the Omni, and that is where the Knicks and the Hawks are playing. Steve Smith for 3 at 15 in the first quarter, and then some pretty good Knicks ball movement. Derek Harper, Charles Oakley, Monty Williams open for the pair. And some more Knickerbocker offense. Patrick Ewing, and who's wide open? Anthony Mason. Knicks up by 1 at the half. It's a close one. Atlanta has come back, and they've grabbed the lead. They're in the fourth quarter. Celtics over the 76ers, 86-76. By the way, in that game, Coleman left in the second quarter with an ankle injury. T-Wolves and Hornets is close. Nets and Cavs, a 7-point game there. Speaking of great, Georgia Tech guards, Kenny Anderson with 15 through 3. Bullets by 2 over the Mavs. The Bulls, best record in the league. They've won 5 in a row. They lead Milwaukee early on. Highlights of all these games and complete stories coming up on SportsCenter at 11 Eastern. Heat and Suns just underway. It is the Marbury Show. He's got 17. We're back with more on the Delta Faucet halftime report. Back on the Delta Faucet halftime report and checking the National Hockey League scene. Rangers 1, Canadians nothing. That one on the road. In the second intermission, Devils have beaten the Islanders by a final score of 4-2. Wild fight between the goaltenders in that one. You check out SportsCenter to see the highlights of that. Penguins over the Whalers, 6-0. The Penguins have scored more goals than anyone else. Panthers over the Bruins. It is 2-1. That one is in period number 3. Maple Leafs leading the Stars. Avalanche Senators. Don't forget, highlights on SportsCenter at 11. They'll also have the Division 2 and Division 3 football playoffs.
Maybe a little bit surprising to Wildcat fans, but probably not to Rick Pitino. Halftime, Georgia Tech's Yellow Jackets ranked 16th in the country and trying to pull a bit of a surprise. 41-38, our halftime score. We welcome you back down here from the upper rafters. Brad Nessler, Larry Conley. Larry, I don't know how an 18-year-old kid can step into this game and be as good as he is, but Stephon Marbury's put on a show already tonight.
Well, we want to put a highlight package together. We're going to show you the type of player this young man is. He does it from everywhere on the floor. He can handle it, he can shoot it, and particularly shoot it. Here's 1 of 3 three-point field goals he made in the first half. That's 1. Now, go around the defender, get to the outside of the arc, shoot 2 in the corner. Now, watch his third three-point goal. The catch, the look, the jump, the basket. Now, come out and guard him. Now, go by him. Look at this. Hesitation in the air and in the basket. He can score a lot of different ways.
Well, he had 17 to lead everybody. It's enough to make you smile. He and Harpering had 20 of Georgia Tech's first 22 points. And there's his numbers. 18 minutes, 4 for 5 from the field, 6 for 7 from the free throw line, and he leads all scorers with 17. Georgia Tech starting guards, it's no contest with Kentucky starting guards as far as that matchup so far tonight. Harpering had his first shot blocked, and that's a good way for Kentucky to start the second half.
You know, Kentucky did a good job on the backboard. They out-rebounded Georgia Tech 27-14, almost doubled the number. But there are a lot of those rebounds, they didn't get back in the basket. They stuck them back up there, they wouldn't go. Cats with a chance now if they get a 3 to tie.
Delk guarded by Berry.
Georgia Tech in a man-to-man defense. Watch the screen.
Cross-court pass, Mercer gets Harpering to back away, and he buries the jumper.
Right, that's the first indication we've seen of Mercer tonight, where he's showing some aggressiveness, some assertiveness to go up and really make something happen.
Maddox, mismatch with Epps. Tries to take him to the hoop, but he missed the shot. Nice outlet on the bounce pass from Pope to Delk, and now Kentucky can lead if they score. Mercer's going to try to do it himself. Loose ball picked up by Berry. Drew Berry, left hand, Pope stuffs it. And then Marbury and Epps play you take it and take it out of bounds, back and forth, and Marbury won that little battle.
Well, this is really a lot of fun. Watch the block here by Pope. He'll slap it to the left side. You're going to see Epps and Marbury decide, all right, I'm going to throw it off of your knee, but I'm not going to let you do it. I'll throw it off of yours, and what happens is Tech gets it back.
Marbury around a pick, three-pointer, no good.
Will he ever get up on that jump shot?
I guess. When you get that much elevation, you can't help but have a good look at the basket. Marbury with the push, though, on the other end.
You know, Brad, that's something you cannot teach. You just got to have that natural ability to be able to jump like that, and he does.
(41-40). Georgia Tech early in the second half. On the baseline, Walker got the roll, and Kentucky rolls back in front by 1. And Georgia Tech throws it away.
Little miscommunication at time between Harper and Marbury.
Statistically, in that first half, Georgia Tech shot 45%, Kentucky only 43%, but the three-point field goals, Georgia Tech 5 of 12, and Kentucky big edge in the rebounds, but as Larry said, they got the boards, but they didn't necessarily do anything with it. Almost thrown away. Now Delk has it blocked by Elisma. Georgia Tech's got a 4-on-3. Harpering takes it all away himself. Good choice. He looked around, thought about dishing it off, but he's the one that had the alley. And it's Tech back in front.
Seesaw affair right now between these two clubs. Type of game we expected to see.
Epps, nice drive. I don't know about the shot. Elisma pulls down the miss.
Eddie Elisma just seems to get better and better each week.
Here he comes on offense. And charging foul. And that's 3 on him.
Bobby Crimmins off the bench immediately telling Eddie Elisma to give the ball up. You get inside like that and make the bounce pass to the open man. Good job by Delk to draw the charge.
Kentucky fans a little bit quiet, a little bit stunned by the happenings so far at Rupp Arena tonight.
Good job by Harvey doubling down.
Kentucky back in front. Antoine Walker's in double figures now. Harper got an open look at a 3, but decided to wait for his friends. Maddox was all alone on the baseline, and nobody saw him.
You see him jumping up and down?
I could see him, but they couldn't.
He's got it inside.
Nice job posting up inside, and Delk can't stay with him. Basket's good.
Oh, what a nice pass by Berry. Drew Berry looked up, made the good lob pass over the Kentucky defense. Maddox was there to gather it in.
And Maddox, give him credit, he asked for it. Look at that hand up. Give it to me, give it to me.
Exactly.
I got a guy that's 6'1" on me.
But hey, how about the presence of mind of Berry? He looks in, he sees a 6'1" guy on a 6'8" guy. He gets the ball to the proper man. Senior leadership. Boy, Drew Berry, he's going to have a terrific year.
He's number 3 now in career assists at Georgia Tech with that dish. And just moving up now. Has 541 career assists. Maddox can't make it a three-point play.
Look at the good defense by Georgia Tech. Good pressure on the wings, denying the pass. Good job by Marbury on Epps.
Shepard, three-pointer won't go. And last touch, let's see. Officials conferring, and it'll be Kentucky ball. I think if somebody would have told Bobby Crimmins that Rick Pitino would have Tony Delk on the floor but not have any points with 16:37 left, Crimmins would take it.
McCarty can shoot from out there. Nice lob.
Shepard with a slam.
That's a good out-of-bounds play the Kentucky runs, and they know Shepard can get up, and a nice pass by McCarty. You got to have a timing play on that. Make sure the ball is right where it needs to be when Shepard gets to the height of his jump.
Harpering spins. Maddox will try a triple. Kentucky by 1.
Kentucky working the ball on the perimeter now, trying to find that open. Good screen by Shepard for McCarty.
Harpering clears off to Marbury. Cross courts it. And Berry with a pass, and it had a lot on it, and Maddox couldn't handle it.
Drew turned around and looked at us as if to ask our approval.
Well, he had a little too much heat on that one. On the other end, though, McCarty had the perfect touch to Shepard for the Kentucky lead.
Well, Kentucky's gone back up on top here in Lexington, Kentucky. I want you to notice something. Look at the top of your screen right here. Watch Maddox jumping up and down, wanting the basketball. Now, Harpring's got it. Look at Maddox jumping up and down. Doesn't get it, but watch the payoff. They come back around the corner. Drew Berry's got it. Looks inside. Maddox says, I've got it. I've got a smaller man. Give me the ball. He does. Gets it over Delk, and Maddox dunks it. Nice play. Good pass by Berry, and a good call by Maddox.
Maddox will get a breather with Olisma. So 2 of Georgia Tech starters on the bench. And that means a little bit smaller lineup. Bucky Hodge and Juan Gaston have taken their spots respectively inside, along with Berry and Marbury. It's Epps, Pope, McCarty, Mercer, and Shepard for Kentucky. And Shepard has had a hot hand tonight. That one doesn't go for him. McCarty won the rebound battle, and then he got mugged. Gaston got up in the air and nowhere to go but right on the back of McCarty.
Right, what happened was Pope and McCarty were battling each other inside, and there was no room for a Georgia Tech player to get in between them. Pope kind of screened everybody else away, and McCarty got the foul. I'll tell you one thing Kentucky's done tonight. They really have rebounded very well.
34-18 right now, the advantage in boards. Nice ball movement. McCarty on the baseline, hit the side of the backboard. A little bit too much baseline. Georgia Tech can lead if they score. Berry got Shepard in the air. Tip in by Harpring.
Basket by Harpring.
16 for Matt. And we're down to the 15-minute mark in this ball game. Great feed to McCarty.
That's something Epps will do a lot of this year. He's a true point guard. The one very defined player on this club is Anthony Epps. He is the point guard and will deliver. Everybody else has multi-dimensional talents.
He's gone over the 200 career assist mark tonight. Gaston works inside, strong off the glass.
And guess against who? Against Epps. Again inside. Bigger player taking a smaller. But Bobby Crim is doing a nice job with his offense tonight, and his players taking good advantage of that size.
This has just been a good game all around. McCarty trying to follow, and now a foul inside.
And Brad, once again, Kentucky hitting the offensive backboard and not getting anything out of it. They go up, McCarty gets an offensive rebound, Pope comes back with an offensive rebound, but they have no points to show for it.
So McCarty will step up to the free throw line.
How about those for rebounding numbers?
Wow.
Almost doubled.
McCarty will not step to the line. Still not over the limit. Shepard, jump ball, possession arrow, stays with Kentucky. Good defensive job inside.
Good job by Bucky Hodge. I think Shepard expected to go up and get fouled. Hodge just stood his ground and put the hand on the ball.
Anderson will come in and Mercer will sit down. 14-17 to go in the ball game. Georgia Tech with a 1-point lead and a steal. First turnover of this half against the Wildcats. They got McCarty on Marbury, and again, that's the mismatch speed-wise.
Harpring's got Epps right now. They want to try to get it to Harpring if they can.
Hodge not a big offensive threat, and Pope backs him way out on the wing. There's the one they want, but now it's a double team on Harpring. That Georgia Tech wasn't looking for. Marbury, three-pointer. And Harpring over the back, trying to tip the ball to a teammate.
Brad, it's the first time tonight I've seen Stephon Marbury take a bad shot.
Yeah.
He had a guy with a hand in his face and really ill-advised.
He has not scored so far this half, which is now approaching 7 minutes in. 6 and change.
Hodge out on top guarding Pope. Georgia Tech's defense in the second half has been very good.
Pope got a nice speed inside, and now Harpring picks up the foul, and Georgia Tech can't get him in foul trouble. That's one guy they can ill afford to lose inside. That's 3 on Matt Harpring.
Mark Pope, much like Michael Maddox on the other end, calling for the basketball. He gets it in good position. That's a good pass away from the defense. You'll see Harpring come in. Ooh, he got a lot of the ball.
Yeah.
Big win for Villanova today. Well, they keep rolling, don't they? Wildcats got a good club.
They do. Scores at 10, 30, and 50 past every hour, every day on ESPN, 24 hours a day. where we've got a free throw separating us from another tie on this one. Or maybe one more free throw. Hope a 74% free throw shooter, but 0 for 1 tonight. 7 points all in the first half from Mark. Whoa, Barry fell in the lane.
No penalty if the ball goes in. You just simply count it and continue playing.
And we are tied at 49. And here's the backcourt pressure. Fans try to count it down for the officials. Barry inside to Hodge. Turns on McCarty and drew a foul.
I am most impressed with the way Bucky Hodge has been playing here tonight. He's one of those players, I think probably if you had to list one guy, he would be the 7th or 8th guy on this roster who would be in there playing. But if Bobby Crimmins can continue to get 4 to 5, 6 minutes out of this guy every night, this is really going to help that Georgia Tech team.
Well, it's given Alisma and Maddox a chance to get a breather on the bench.
Antoine Walker checks in for Kentucky.
McCarty goes out. Antoine Walker comes back in. Just trade, you know, one prep All-American for another one. It's no big thing. 7 high school All-Americans on this Kentucky roster.
And there's a lot of discussion around the country about this Kentucky team. Do they have too many great players? You know, they don't have enough balls. Well, they do have. They can throw them around, and a lot of guys are going to get shots. Patino's told them, if you want to play, you got to work hard. As evidenced by the fact that McCarty did not start tonight, and he's probably the best player he's got.
Hodge had not shot a free throw on the season until tonight, and he's still 0 for 2 tonight.
Checks in his own defense now.
Baseline jumper goes for Turner. He's not shy at all. After 2,500 plus high school points, he's not afraid to shoot. And he gives Kentucky a 2-point advantage. Gaston doubled on the baseline, still got a shot away, and Hodge keeps it alive. Harpering, no whistle underneath. He'll try it again. Still no foul called, and then Walker steps out of bounds. Well, a lot of hands in there, but I guess no foul.
Well, Harpering was battling underneath with a bunch of guys in white shirts. Watch it again. You'll see him, number 15 in gold right here, pick the ball up. Now, Walker's there. He's got the hand on the ball, slapped away. They can't control it. Pope loses it. Harpering tries to go back again and gets it slapped away.
Now the foul's called on Kentucky as Saunders made a move to the hoop.
That is on Shepard. That is his second.
Shepard picks up his second. And Harpering, 16 points tonight.
Saunders will be the line for 2.
Marbury was 17.
Tough youngster. Tough kid.
Gary Saunders out of Brother Rice High School in New York. Had a broken ankle late in his senior season in high school. Tony Delk was last scoreless against Utah in the second round of the NCAA tournament in 1993 as a freshman. The reason we tell you that, we don't expect it to stay this way, but there's 12:32 left in this game, and Tony Delk, who probably finish as one of the top 5 scorers in Kentucky history, hasn't scored tonight. Well, Tech, we talked about how great they've been shooting free throws, and they clanged the last 4 there.
Yeah, I paid tribute to them a little too soon, I think.
Kentucky by 2. Stephon Marbury awaits his return to the Tech lineup. He's in front of the scorers table.
Tech still back in that zone defense, trying to keep the ball away from the inside.
Turner, I said he's not shy.
I'm going to tell you what, you talk about quickness. He's got Marbury quickness.
They got to get Marbury back in there to hang with him. Tech trailing by 4. That's been Kentucky's biggest lead. They had it a couple of times in the first half, and now Georgia Tech throws it away. And they need to get Marbury back on the floor right now, and maybe even need a timeout, because Kentucky's put a mini run together. And now they lead with 11:57 remaining in the ball game. Nothing to smile about if you're Bobby Crimmins. It's the Cats by 4. 53-49 now. Kentucky leading Georgia Tech. Just under 12 minutes left in the ball game. With Larry Conley, Brad Nessler back with you at Rupp Arena in Lexington. Kentucky's found a way to shut out Stephon Marbury in the second half, and also Georgia Tech's gone cold from the free throw line, thus Kentucky with the lead.
Well, it was Marbury's award show in the first half. In the second half, it's been not for him. And really, he and Tony Delk, 2 of the guys that really lead their 2 respective clubs, really not getting much done in the second half. But, hey, it's still a long way to go.
11:57 to be exact. And Kentucky with a 4-point cushion. Marbury back in the Tech lineup and on Turner.
Tech has come out of that zone defense. I think they've blown that 4-point lead that they had, and now they're down 4. They want to decide to go out and play man-to-man defense.
Delk, scoreless until now. You knew it wouldn't last. At 11:34 remaining in the ball game, he buries a 3 and gives Kentucky a 7-point advantage.
And Brad, his 200th 3-point field goal.
Tops on the Kentucky list already, and you're right, it's a nice even round number now. Gaston trying to quiet the crowd, rattles it off the backboard. Pope will clear it, and the Cats by 7, and here they come. An 8-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes. Make it a 10-0 run.
What a pass by Anderson. Great look inside. Oh, what a pass.
Another timeout. With 10:59 remaining, a 20-second timeout as Bobby Crimmins watches his team go down 9 now.
Brad, this is an excellent play. Pope keeping the ball alive. Got it to Anderson. Look at the bullet pass. Inside, Walker got it. Barry can do nothing, and he lays it up and in. All of a sudden, the Cats have jumped out to a 9-point bulge. That was a terrific look in there.
Down 41-38 at the break, and now up 58-49. A 20-8 start to the second half of the first 9 minutes.
Hey, the one thing you don't want to do in Rupp Arena is get down quickly, because they will turn on you in a hurry. Crowd, environment, team, coach, cheerleaders, band, ball boys.
Everything's intimidating in this building if you're an opponent in here. Here comes the backcourt pressure again. They'll clear out, let Marbury work against Turner. Turner almost came up with a steal. Marbury's got to become more offensive here for Georgia Tech. Threw it away. Pope ahead to Delk. Can he run it down? Well, he saves it back into Pope.
Good hustle. Kentucky taking care of the basketball now. They got about 20,000 on their feet. Mismatch out front.
10 on the shot clock. A little over 10 on the game clock. Turner got a pass to Anderson somehow, and Anderson's fouled. Olisma picks up the foul, and Marbury picks up some watery eyes. He got popped in the nose. That's 4 fouls on Eddie Olisma, too. Florida State, you'll see them this week on ESPN against UConn.
Pat Kennedy may have a surprising club down there. Looks like Stephon Marbury may be heading to the end of the bench to get some work on that done on that nose. A little trickle of blood coming down, I think.
And that gets you a seat on the bench faster than anything in college basketball. So they just got him back in the lineup.
Well, that is painful. Get hit across the bridge of the nose like that. Your eyes water.
Yep. You ever seen so many guys working on one person's nose in your life? That's when you know you're a superstar.
It's like they're trying to pack it right now just to stop the bleeding.
He got hit on that baseline. It was kind of tough.
Yeah, watch it right here. Now you'll see him, number 3 right here, going down the lane is Duff. Elbow, elbow. Yeah, he got it from the elbow.
Got the elbow or the shoulder right in the nose, and Anderson hits a free throw. And now it's Kentucky by 10. You get down double figures to the Wildcats, you could be in a little bit of trouble. Georgia Tech well aware of that now. It is 60-49. Steal, stop.
Great trap. Walker, Turner got Barry. Tech has lost their poise.
Completely.
They've also lost their point guard, the guy that's been outside delivering in the first half. He's over on the bench now with a bloody nose, and he's not delivered in the second half. Bobby Crimmins with some decisions to make. Take a look right here. Turner with a good hand slap away right here. Walker gets the benefit, goes up, puts it down.
And either Delk or Walker got a push on Barry. going to be on Walker. There's the Kentucky scoring run in the last 3.5 minutes. And when you think about exactly 10 minutes remaining in this game, 24-8, Kentucky's outscored Georgia Tech in the second half. Tech needs some offense, and they need it in a hurry.
So there's the guy that can deliver it.
You got that right. Good call, Larry. Harpering with a triple. 19 for Harpering. That momentarily quiets the crowd. Walker working on Maddox. Nice spin in the paint. And then guilty of being over the back of a Georgia Tech player inside, picking up his second foul. Coming up on Sunday night. Tomorrow night, the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre and Green Bay 9-4, playing as well as anybody in the NFL against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, the NFL on ESPN. Ain't football great? Today, Minnesota staying in the hunt in the wild card in the NFC Central with a win. Delk trying to feed the baseline. Harpering got a piece of that.
Hope made a great steal on the trap.
Delk from downtown Lexington. He's only got 2 field goals, but they've been huge. A couple of three-pointers. Loose ball foul on Turner in that pileup. Hard to even call a foul in that mess.
That looked like a rugby match. Everybody in the scrum.
There, yeah, that's right.
Tony Delk, as you said, has got 2 field goals, both of them threes. He's up to 201 now. None bigger than the one he just got to answer Harpering's 3, which quieted this crowd.
He went 28.5 minutes of this game without scoring at all. Matt Harpering looking for his 20th point of the night.
Brad, this young man really had a chance to play a number of different sports. He had a number of football scholarships offered to him. And he's really a good baseball player. Watched him play that as a youngster. But he decided to play basketball. He's got 2 brothers that play football.
Northwestern wanted him as Mom and Dad look on. Northwestern wanted him as a quarterback. His brother's a receiver up there for the Rose Bowl bound Wildcats. These Wildcats of Kentucky by 11. Mercer wide open on the baseline. Drew Barry on the run for Georgia Tech. Looking for a foul call, doesn't get it, but the possession arrow stays with the Yellow Jackets. And Stephon Marbury, that might be more than just a ding in the nose. You kind of start to wonder with that much blood if he broke his nose. And they're trying to get a new jersey and get that thing stopped so we can get back on the floor.
There are 3 people over there working on him right now.
Barry trying to feed inside. Georgia Tech with a turnover. You look over at Stephon Marbury, and the first thing you think of is what Buster Mathis Jr. will probably look like a week from tonight. Sorry, Buster.
Only thing is he won't have a jersey on.
That's right. Pope pushed from behind by Maddox.
Good post position that time by Pope. One of the criticisms of this Kentucky club, and there aren't many, is the fact that they don't have a true post-up player. And Pope may be the only guy that really goes in there and plays that position with his back to the basket and plays it well. Everybody else on this club likes to go out and shoot the 15 to 20-foot jump shot.
Pope, 6'10" senior out of Bellevue, Washington, a transfer from the University of Washington, where he was a freshman of the year in the Pac-10 a few years ago.
Brad, they've taken Marbury to the dressing room.
Saunders got 3 inside, but he couldn't come up with a layup. Still Georgia Tech ball.
Tech maybe without the services of Stephon Marbury as he's gone to the dressing room to try to get that nose worked on so he can get back here for this final 8:05. To check and see exactly what happened. I'm not sure. We know of the nose problem. We don't know how serious it is.
Lismo with a miss. Kentucky with a run. Delk thought about a 3. Now has to cross court it. Mercer got it.
It's got a funny different shot, Mercer does. It's not very fluid. It looks like he's shot putting the ball after it gets to its apex.
Again, a 13-point Kentucky lead. Saunders, that's a big three to help Georgia Tech.
That's good ball movement. They got the ball on the right side to Elisma, who got it back to Saunders. One of the few times Georgia Tech's been able to move the ball on the perimeter and get a good shot.
Lob for McCarty. Three on two for Tech, and Delk with a steal. McCarty's with him again, but he's going to take his own 15-footer and get his own rebound. Pope, a triple.
Well, Kentucky had a couple of good chances there to really open this thing wide open. I think Bobby Crimmins needs to talk about it.
He's going to. With 6 minutes and 41 seconds left, timeout, Georgia Tech. And time might be out completely for Stephon Marbury, headed to the locker room with an injury to his nose. Meanwhile, Epps and McCarty have given Kentucky a lead of a dozen.
Before we get you back to Kentucky and Georgia Tech, I want to bring you to the Carrier Dome, Carrier Classic. Washington State down by 2, going for a three-pointer at the buzzer, and the win. Shimon Antrim's shot is off the iron, and Syracuse hangs on and wins by 2. Let's go back to Brad Knight.
All right, Carl. Well, a New Jersey, but the same player. Instead of 3, it's 30. So add a 0, and that's what he's got in the second half. No points and a bloody nose to show for it.
You can see what happened right there. Just simply got it on the nose, on the bridge of the nose, on the by the elbow.
So Stephon Marbury in a New Jersey, and ball in hand. His team is down by 12. 6:35 remaining. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley with you from Rupp Arena. Georgia Tech hit a cold stretch, and Kentucky hit a 14-point run and have taken control of the game. Shepard trying to get it down court. Stolen by Harper, and got a man open, and he just can't find a handle. Back-to-back turnovers by each team.
Well, Barry was wide open for a layup, and Harper could not control the ball to get it to him.
Now Epps will slow it down at the point. Gets open for a 3. Got it. Doesn't shoot much. His first field goal of the night, and it's a 15-point Kentucky advantage.
He's pretty effective when he does shoot, though. He's 4 for 10 coming in from the three-point range, but now 5 of 11. Good steal.
It's just turnover after turnover. Georgia Tech is unraveled. Walker. He's had a big second half. Antoine's got 16. And it's getting out of hand. And another turnover.
Brad, when I spoke earlier, the Tech had lost their poise. They're not getting it back. At some point, you've got to compose yourself and start to play the game that you're capable of playing. They did it for 30 minutes. Now it's just gone awry.
The wheels are coming off the Ramblin' Wreck right now. Walker tried a one-hand jam, and Harpering fouled him. That's 4 on Harpering.
You know, when you got 6 guys to play in the O-zone, it's pretty easy to just toss it up there and let them throw it down.
Somebody will go get it. 74-57, as Kentucky just has exploded in this 14.5 minutes of this half. And Antoine Walker's been part of the reason, as he has 16 points, 10 of them this half. Now 11 this half. And Drew Barry says, yeah, I remember Rupp Arena as a redshirt freshman. He's going to not like it any better as a senior, it appears, going out of here, unless Tech really has a major overhaul in the last 5.5 minutes. Maddox and Elisma back in. Gaston and Hodge back out.
You know, Kentucky will stay with that unrelenting pressure. I mean, they're not going to back off of them now, even with this 19-point lead.
It has rattled Tech this half, not so much the first half.
You know, one of the things that happened the other day in the Wisconsin-Green Bay game, they actually got up by 22 points and let Green Bay get back in the game. And it's part of the reason I think he was upset with Delk and McCarty Rick Pitino was because he let them back in. This is a club that has a tendency to build up big leads and come back, but they're also a club that comes back from being down. I mean, they were down to Massachusetts and came back real strong.
They have let every top scorer on the opposition team put up big numbers. Maryland's Johnny Rhodes had 30. Wayne Simpkins had 16 in that game, as a matter of fact. I talked about Marcus Camby, a career-high 32. Brian Evans for Indiana had 28, and Jeff Norgard of Wisconsin Green Bay had 29. They've let this guy have 17, but all of them came in the first half. And Tech has not hit a free throw. Yes, they have. 2 free throws in the second half in all their attempts. Shepard. And he was fouled on his way to the basket.
Pretty strong move. Marbury was with him every step of the way. He made the crossover dribble, went down the lane. Marbury was there, but Shepard had the inside shoulder past him, and when he got there, he just got fouled by Marbury. Watch this defense by Marbury. Shepard's pretty quick out front. Now see the shoulder right here? He gets in. Now watch the crossover. Behind the back. He goes the other way, and then Marbury reaches in and fouls him as he goes up. Shepard's had a good game.
Yes, he has. 10 points for Jeff. Started 27 games last year in a season that saw Kentucky win 28 of their 33. Make the Elite Eight. Marbury, nice bounce pass to Elisma. That's still one of the problems, although Eddie Elisma got mugged on that move. When Tech does get a nice pass inside, he is not an offensive player for the most part, Eddie Elisma.
One of the things you got to teach players inside, when you've got a guy like Marbury or Berry that deliver the basketball, you got to be ready to shoot. You got to be able to catch it and go strong to the basket. Elisma has not learned to do that yet.
He has 1 point tonight. That's all. And 1 rebound as well, and you can't get that from your starting center.
I mean, they're pretty much an outside-oriented club. He almost shot an air ball on that free throw.
Horrendous free throw shooting by Georgia Tech in this second half.
Kentucky with that 20-point lead. This thing could go to 30 in a hurry.
Yep. You wonder if the Kentucky fans, when this one's over, are still going to say, what's wrong with this team? Because when they came out of this 3-point halftime deficit, they have been a machine. Mercer. And Epps keeps it alive. Fresh 35. They want to use some clock. They can, and they will.
Crowd got upset with Mercer because he didn't take the shot.
I think that's a smart money, though. Back it out. You got 25 seconds left to play with. You can get it down near the 4-minute mark before you even have to shoot. Up by 20, why waste it?
You know, Brad, you make a good point there, because at some point during the season, they're going to have a game where they're going to need to pull it back out.
Hope trying to follow Shepard's miss. Shepard brings it back out. Fresh 35. Mercer fakes the shot. This is just heads-up basketball now, if you ask me, by the Wildcats.
You got to learn to be patient. Learn to use this when you need it. Offensive foul. We're going to push off on Anthony Epps. No, Turner, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. Epps pushed off. Marbury doing a nice acting job going to the floor.
Kentucky's previous high in rebounds this year had been 35 against Indiana. And tonight they're all over the glass. 47 tonight against Georgia Tech. And they come in having been out-rebounded by about 3 a game by the opposition. Not tonight. They have hit the glass big time.
Brad, again, take a look right here. You can see Epps with the basketball. He makes a move. Now watch. Pretty good acting job there by Marbury, too. He's been on the Great White Way up there, watching those folks too long.
3:56 left in this one, and it's all Kentucky right now. They lead by 20. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley at Rupp Arena with 3:56 left. It's Kentucky leading by 20. Stephon Marbury's been shut out this half by the Kentucky defense, and partly because of an injury, and he had missed some time, but rebound advantage, Kentucky all over the boards, and Antoine Walker's had a good ball game.
Really should be a wake-up call, I think, Brad, for this Georgia Tech team. I think Bobby Crimmins, when he gets out of here and heads back to Atlanta to work with his club, they've got to do some work on that backboard. I mean, they've got a great perimeter game with these three guys, but they've got to do some work on the inside. Matt Harper, the leading rebounder for this Georgia Tech club at almost 10 a game. They got to find somebody else to get in there and start banging on that glass.
No doubt about it. Marbury's three is off the mark. Hope will clear it off. Kentucky number 5 in the country, and they have been very, very impressive in this half.
It's been a type of Kentucky team I think the Kentucky fans and those people around the country who follow college basketball expected to see
from the get-go.
Right from the get-go, yep.
Tough to create chemistry right away to begin a season, even when you've got all the All-American type players they have. 3-second violation on Kentucky. One of their few turnovers this half, while Georgia Tech has just been barraged with turnovers. They have 19 tonight, and their previous season high was 16 against Georgetown in their loss this year. So it looks like the turnover situation is going to force them to lose again. Part of the reason, anyway. They're going to be 5-2 when this one's over.
Barry trying to find somebody inside. Get some shots up here. They only got 2:45 left to play. Harping on the floor, lost it again.
20th turnover. Kentucky turns it right back over, though. Look out. Eric Anderson did the hop, skip, and kind of had a triple jump thing happening down there right over the top of the photographers.
Anderson looks like he'd be a good triple jump athlete, doesn't he?
Harpering. Now Georgia Tech just can't find anything to go right for them in the second half.
Brad, I really think the combination of poor free throw shooting and the fact that Marbury was out for that period of time with his nose and actually not the rebounding being so poor has really hurt Bobby Crimmins' club in the second half. I mean, if you're looking for reasons why right now they're down 20, those are the reasons.
You know, I think we have to go back to the play-by-play, but I'd be willing to bet you when Tech led by 4 points, they missed 5 free throws in a row that could have conceivably given them an 8 or 9 point lead. And their free throw shooting, 52% from the night's been horrendous. And I think that free throw string, along with what you said, Marbury going out for that stretch, just buried him. Epps misses the 3.
We'll tell you one thing, though. Kentucky has really played well in this second half. I mean, give them credit, too, because they've put the pressure on Tech and forced the turnovers. They've been able to convert a number of those turnovers to points.
And Kentucky, of course, gets a lot of people out there every game. There's the Kentucky minutes tonight. Is there enough basketballs to go around? Is there enough time to go around? Well, Rick Pitino's found a way. Jared Prickett's the only guy that's not in double figures.
You know, Brad, at this point, these players are accepting that. And I know a lot of people around the country say, well, you've got those many All-Americans playing out here. How hard is it? Well, it's very difficult because all these guys want to play a lot of minutes. But so far, he's been able to keep that in tow, and these players have accepted their roles. Yeah, we'll play 15, 20, 25 minutes, ever how much you need us, Coach.
They sat down and talked about it in depth. Rick Pitino told me a week or so ago about that very fact beginning the season. He said, hey, you know, you can sit and worry about it, or we can sit and we can go out and try to win the national championship and win it with 10 guys that play, and that's what they're doing tonight very well. Inside, Shepard on a great look from McCarty. Down to a minute and a half and a 21-point lead. Stephon Marbury, he might go scoreless in the second half after a sensational first half. Anderson, let's see what he does. Not there. We'll give him a 9, 9, an 8.5, a 9, and 8.5.
I got a 6.5. He just barely got there.
Well, the windmill part, I like that part. 81-58. That's pretty much epitomizes Georgia Tech's night. That last move by Maddox. Oh, off the glass to McCarty. Hello, what do you give it?
Hello, that's a 10.
All right. I like that one. Knew the trailer was there, and you see that drill a lot of times before ball games from teams, but you don't very often see anything happen with it in the game. That was a good one.
That's an unselfish play. Anderson had an easy layup and could have just put it in there, threw it up on the glass, and McCarty was right there.
Conley and Nessler not easily impressed until this.
Watch this. This is great. He knows he's coming.
This is Anderson.
Come on, big fella, follow it up.
Nope,
this is
that's
the first
his
one.
slam.
Yeah, that's his. Now, the second one is even more impressive for Anderson. He laid it up there for McCarty.
The part you didn't see was coming off the glass, but we know you saw it as it happened, and that was pretty. McCarty's still smiling about it. Harpering with 22. He'll lead Georgia Tech as he has all season long, but it's not going to be enough. He's 5th in the ACC in scoring and not hurting his average at all tonight.
For Georgia Tech, we have 2 people coming in. We have
83 to 60.
right now for number 24.
And Harpering will sit, so will Maddox. Those 2 are done for the night.
For Harpering.
And we're down to the final 40. Impressive win by Kentucky.
Well, it's a Kentucky team that we expected to see tonight. They played very, very well. I'm surprised they were a 15-point favorite coming into this game, but they played like favorites tonight.
Yeah, they have. Georgia Tech, as you mentioned, Larry, played about 25 or so minutes of excellent basketball, but you can't say much for the last 15, really. Walker with an air ball. Alisma trying to save it. Shot clock expired, but Alisma threw it out of bounds. I don't know which came first, the horn for the shot clock or the pass out of bounds. I guess the pass out of bounds, because it'll be Kentucky ball in the final 9 seconds of the game. The Edge NFL matchup is coming up next, don't forget. And that is just a few seconds away. That's going to do it for us from Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. All Wildcats in the second half, and they run away with it. Rick Pitino's club goes to 4-1. Bobby Crimmins' Yellow Jackets drop to 5-2. 83 to 60, the final. That's going to do it for Larry Conley and our entire ESPN crew from Rupp Arena in Lexington on a cold night in Lexington.